Hi, hello. Welcome to a little story time where I will be telling you guys about something that happened. It's a long time ago, but I still thought it was relevant because it has changed me a lot since I was a kid, at least. My old teacher really messed me up in the head. Yeah, um, she was probably the main reason why I don't like myself anymore. And I'll explain why. It's not because of her bad teaching or I had to go to school, but maybe it was also that. But no, maybe. um, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about today, and I hope you enjoy. If I slur or say anything that doesn't make sense, I'm very sorry. I don't have a script for this because I don't like scripting. Okay, so to keep this lady's privacy, I'm gonna call her Miss Jackson. Like the song, I know. But anyway, Miss Jackson was my teacher when I was younger, maybe like in first to third or fourth grade, maybe. And she was my favorite teacher. She knew how to keep everyone quiet. She was not that strict, but she was weird. Very weird. She would put on music that wasn't for children, exactly. Um, and she would say some very weird stuff. She's that teacher that would take her day out on her students, but I didn't think that was a bad thing back then. Now I see why I have a bad mind. um, yeah. So basically, she was my favorite teacher, and Miss Jackson. She wasn't the best at handling my problems and how I was. She was basically like that those ads for autism that made the kids look bad and everything like that, and just basically took the kids down. She was like that. But that was because I was the weird kid. I liked being alone. I liked doing my own thing. I didn't like playing with the other kids. I was very weird. I liked playing on my own. I was very quote unquote imaginary. I think that's the word, yeah. But when she then came over to me one day, she said something that has really put an input on my life. And that something was, "You're too weird, you should change." Or something along those lines. It's years ago. But I remember her saying I was way too weird to get any friends. I was way too weird to do anything. I would never get friends. I would never be anything if I kept being weird. And that isn't something you would say to maybe a 9-year old child. Or 10. I don't remember my age back then, but I know that really put a bad input on how I saw myself. And you might be wondering, Debbie, why didn't you just tell a teacher? Or another teacher or your parents? Because I was scared to. I thought she was right. I thought all adults were right. I thought everything she said about me was right. I didn't feel like she would lie to me back then because I thought I was one of her favorite students. Um, yeah, I stopped having that mindset when my parents almost divorced, and when I was crying in class, she told me I was disrupting the class, and I tried saying that my dad had said I could just go home or call home so he could come and pick me up if I had a very bad day. My dad really understood that, like when I said it, I didn't feel like going to school because of it. and she said I was disrupting the class and I should stay because I need to be smarter. I wasn't the smartest kid in the class, but I wasn't the worst kid in the class. So this really just it made me sad, basically. But she let me go home after a little while of me begging. And when this happened, she was still my favorite teacher. I didn't feel like any of what she was saying was that nice, but she was still my favorite teacher because she was there and she didn't actually care if I was wearing something weird, if I was being weird, until that one day where she told me. And she only told me that because I wasn't in her group of standards. Now I have a teacher that is much nicer. She actually listens to me, and yeah, she's nice, but I'm still scared of what she might do. I'm scared that she'll also have the same opinion about me. But so far, I don't think she has that, so yeah. So that kind of scared me for life. Um, and it kind of made me not want to be myself anymore when it happened because I was young. I shouldn't have gotten told that when I was so young because I was still developing my personality and being me. She changed that so quickly, and I wanted to be like everyone else back then because of what she said to me. She doesn't work at the school I go to anymore, but the kids that were there, like in my class back then, or still a little bit like in my class, some of them have moved school, some have gone to other classes, but it really hurt when everyone was saying, "Hey, was the nicest teacher. Why don't you like her?" Because I absolutely hate her now. And every time I explain to them why, they are like, "But no, she would never," because she didn't do that to them. So every time I talk about the teacher, I feel left out because she was nice to them, but not me. And the only time she was actually nice to me was, I can't even remember. Was she ever nice to me? I can't even remember if she has. Whatever. Um, but there was another instant where she didn't care that some of my classmates pushed me out of the line when we were playing a game. They would always push me off all out of the line where we would like get into the game, and they would push me out so they would be like in front of me. She didn't care at all. I told her, she just rolled her eyes and kept watching the others play. And something that really concerns me now is that she's a teacher for adults now, like people who haven't learned anything right when they were younger or they haven't gone to school. That scares me because if she could say that to a little girl, maybe not even half her size, and then I'm just scared what she could say to an adult. Like, that concerns me if she's willing to go out of her way to tell people to change just because they don't fit into her standards. Like, I get that you're from another time and everything was more simple and blah blah blah, but you shouldn't take that out on your students. Like, that's wrong. Doing that can just mess them up real bad. Like, I wouldn't be so depressed or whatever the fuck you call my thing if she hadn't done that. Like, I would have felt normal. I wouldn't be calling myself weird. I wouldn't be talking down to myself or anything. She'd get mad at me for the smallest things, and I could never keep up. So that was very frustrating for me. Sorry. To me, it was kind of like a slap to the face that my favorite teacher thought that about me. And ever since, I haven't really had a favorite teacher. I have one or two, and those are the ones that let me cuss and be myself in the classes and just be me, like my art teacher and my sewing class teacher and my history teacher. But sewing class and history teachers are the same in my school. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite teacher that is in my class all the time. Like my main teacher, I don't like her because I'm scared she'll do the same and I'll go home crying again. And the thing is, I didn't tell my mom until maybe a year later about everything that has happened with Miss Jackson and me. And when I did, she got pissed. Not at me, but her, because she could say that to me. And I feel so stupid that I didn't say it like earlier because she could have actually done something. I I feel so goddamn stupid because if I had done it, then none of this would have happened. She wouldn't keep pushing my buttons, she wouldn't keep doing all of that. And my mom stormed into the school and started complaining because this lady said this to my kid. Like, I would be mad too if someone told my kid she was a retard. I don't have a kid, but if they did, and yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. But anyway, I think that was enough of me ranting about this. If you have any stories you would like me to read or tell, then you can write them in the comments or DM me on Instagram. I'll put a link to that down below. And yeah, that was my crazy story about my teacher. If you have similar stories, you're welcome to say something about it in the comments. You're allowed to leave a dislike if you don't think this was good. I don't care. But give me feedback. I want that. I think it's good to improve on myself. But anyway, bye bye.